there, welcome back to the channel. Greetings from beautiful sunny Koh Samui. Consider doing the video outside today, but it's quite hot even in the shade and there's construction noise across the street. So coming to you from my home office here in Lamai as usual. In today's video, I just wanted to list 10 of the reasons why I will not be returning home for the holidays this year. Been living over in Thailand for the past 4 years and I have not been back to the US since I left in late 2019. And I was actually inspired to create this video by Alex Hermosi. He recently put out a video on this same topic on his channel where he's discussing why he doesn't go home for the holidays. A lot of the things that he was talking about in his video I could really identify and relate with. Just about, wanting to be independent, have your own life, not be surrounded by your family that are just, pulling you in different directions. So that's what this video is going to be about. Hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. Number one reason I will not be returning home for the holidays is that flights are prohibitively expensive, especially flying out of the island, which adds an extra 10-20% to the flight cost. It's going to work out to be about $3,000 roughly round trip to fly back to the US, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, just to go home for 1 week or 2 weeks. And it's not like I have credit cards where I'm just, accumulating debt, racking up interest rates, and then getting airline miles so I can travel all over the place. Number two, it doesn't make sense to visit for just 1 or 2 weeks like I just talked about a little bit earlier. For me, that's not really a good idea, just to go back for like a week. I can see my family for a week after I haven't seen them for 4 years. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I have nothing against my family. I respect them very much. I love them. But I also don't really want to surround myself with my family all that much because they can be quite negative and manipulative as well. So it's just something that I choose to stay away from. And number three, I would consider it moving backwards rather than forwards. I've already sort of left the US behind. It's in the rearview mirror. I would rather not dwell on the past. I want to continue moving forward with my life. And for me, the direction moving forward is, staying here in Samui, building my base, getting the business going, all these sorts of things. Continuing to explore more of Southeast Asia. I want to go to Vietnam, Japan, Malaysia, possibly even China. I'm not entirely sure yet. That's maybe a little bit further into the future. But yeah, I want to continue moving forward rather than going backwards and getting stuck back into the rat race. Number four, my family has had an open invitation to visit me anytime they want on a tropical island in Thailand. And so far, they have not taken me up on the offer. One of the reasons for that being is because, they don't have a passport. And this is quite common in the US. People just, kind of live, they're born and they die in the same small town. It's quite depressing, but, you have to keep in mind the US is a very large country. There's a lot to see and do there. So a lot of people, they're not required to have a passport like in the Netherlands. Actually, in the Netherlands, I've heard, if you don't have a passport, you can go to jail because it's illegal. You need a passport to live there. Not sure if that's entirely accurate or not, but I think that's the way it should be. If things go to hell in a handbasket, you're going to need some way to get out, right? But my family, they don't have a passport. They've never left the U.S. And, here's an open door to come and visit me in Thailand. So far, they haven't taken the opportunity. Number five, I have an exciting job opportunity in Koh Samui, which I've already discussed a little bit in one of my previous videos. I don't want to go into too much detail about it right now because it's not official yet, but coming soon, I'm going to be working for a company over here in Samui for one of the top architects. He's built, 300 villas around Samui, and I'm very excited about this opportunity. This is something that is, obviously keeping me here, and I want to stay here anyway, so it's really a perfect situation. Just need to do another visa run down to Satun, which is bordering Malaysia, later this week, actually on Saturday, and then I can get all of the visa-related things squared away relatively soon. And, you know, if I have to go to Kuala Lumpur or maybe Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam or somewhere to get the non-B visa, then I'll most likely just do that because, you know, flights are a lot cheaper. It doesn't really make sense to fly all the way back to the US. And the immigration over there is kind of a mess anyway, so it's much easier to just go to like Malaysia or Vietnam to get that taken care of. Number 6, just being perfectly honest, I don't really care about celebrating Christmas. I've never been religious. Opening presents under the Christmas tree, setting up the Christmas tree, putting lights on the house, all that stuff just kind of seemed like keeping up with the Joneses to me. And it's not something that I'm particularly interested in. Number 7, I can't stand the politics in America. I don't like Biden and I don't like Trump. They're both terrible. And I don't like the us versus them mentality in America as well, where they're always pitting people against each other. I'm not interested in putting myself back in that environment. Over here in Thailand, I really can't understand most of the things that are being said on the news anyway, because it's all in Thai. It's just kind of in one ear and out the other. Doesn't really affect me in any way. Number 8, I don't like the exorbitant cost of living and the relatively poor quality of life in the US. I've talked about this in many of my other videos as well, and more YouTubers are talking about it too. They're leaving their home country and they're coming over to places like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, you know, countries with a much lower cost of living and I would say a lot better quality of life. Number 9, I would rather fly anywhere in Southeast Asia for a fraction of the cost. In fact, me and my girlfriend are planning a trip to Vietnam, hopefully later this month, if not early next year. We've been talking about it for like 3 years now. And, you know, due to all the travel restrictions during the pandemic, it wasn't possible then. But now, tons and tons of people going to Vietnam. Also, Malaysia is like one of the #1 countries in Southeast Asia in terms of number of tourists. I saw a graph last night that actually shows Malaysia is above Thailand. So that's kind of surprising, but more power to them, right? So you can fly to Vietnam for like, I don't know, 15,000 baht. It's a drop in the bucket compared to, you know, 100,000 baht, $3,000 round trip back to the US, and then you're just stuck back there again where I personally don't want to be. So yeah, I'd much rather just, you know, continue exploring Southeast Asia. And number 10, I want to see a New Year's with my lovely girlfriend. We've been together almost 3 years now. I think our anniversary is coming up right around Christmas time. So I don't really want to, you know, just leave her on the island just to go see my family for a week or two. They can easily come visit me here. If we do end up getting married at some point, then I would love for them to come over here. In fact, it's actually part of the tradition in Thailand. Both family members have to come for the wedding. So, you know, that could also be another option for getting my family over here and also just, you know, staying in Thailand for the long term without worrying about all these visa-related hoops you have to jump through, right? I could list many other reasons, but I think these are the top 10 that I'm focusing on. And I just want to, you know, encourage the viewers of my channel to focus on doing the things that make you happy. And if being around your family doesn't really make you happy, it doesn't bring you satisfaction in your life, and you'd rather just not be around them, then that's entirely your decision. And it may sound selfish, you know, and it is to a certain extent, but I think that you have to be sort of selfish in order to grow and advance in your life and business, or, you know, personal, professional development, whatever. You need to be a little bit selfish, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just to close out this video, I want to say that I have the utmost love and respect for my family. I don't mean them any disrespect. They're both very nice people, but at the same time, I'm trying to do my own thing over here in Thailand, live an independent lifestyle, and, you know, not surround myself with my family. They kind of stress me out, and I'm sure, you know, many other people watching this video can relate to that. I'll just open it up at the end here and ask, what are your plans for the holiday this year? Go ahead, drop a comment down below. Would love to hear from you, and hope to see you over in Thailand real soon. Take care, stay safe. Peace from Koh Samui.